VR news this week is looking kinda fancy. Now, we've just had CES just go by us and there's a ton of interesting things to talk about from that, and honestly I'm kind of amazed at some of the things that have come out off of the back of it. On top of that, we also had a Sony announcement at CES announcing 2 more games that are going to be coming out alongside its release on February 22nd. So let's dive straight into that section first. Sony PSVR 2 is coming to us on the 22nd of February. I am so damn excited for this because it's getting closer and closer and closer, and I feel like I have waited for the last like 3 years for this thing to come out, and the fact that it's actually coming is just so damn exciting. Now, we have a ton of awesome content to be coming to the PSVR 2 and I am excited for each and every one of those titles, but we did just get 2 new things announced, which is kind of exciting. So we now have Gran Turismo 7 that is going to come and get the full VR treatment. This is fully going to be VR, not just an experience, and I believe the last Gran Turismo that came out only had a few races that you were able to do in VR, but now the whole thing's coming. GT7 is going to get the full VR treatment. It looks kind of dope. The footage they showed us is a little bit dark, and I think that's because they kind of zoomed in onto the screen when they were recording at CES and didn't have like a separate feed for the stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing some better footage of this, but nonetheless it does look pretty dope and I'm looking forward to giving this a go myself. The other thing that was confirmed for this is Beat Saber. I'm actually genuinely amazed. Now, I know Beat Saber was originally on the PSVR 1, but I didn't expect Meta to continue over the license for PSVR 2. I'm actually kind of surprised. I guess they just want to make money. I mean, makes sense really. But it is their intellectual property. It is theirs. They own the studio, everything to it. So kind of surprised that they're allowing it to go on other things. Does that mean it's going to come to Pico 4 next? I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. The other piece of news that we got from Sony was their adaptive system. Basically, it's controllers that allow anyone of any ability to be able to get in and play. So you can play with your feet and stuff like that. So really anyone of disability is able to still enjoy the PS system. And I just think this is kind of exciting. I love the fact that accessibility is becoming more and more of a widely accepted thing. And they're just allowing and giving us the tools to really allow absolutely everyone to get in and enjoy the games. Now listen, this comes from a place of heart from me, as my daughter is actually disabled. So I really think it's kind of amazing that people are looking out for everyone with every kind of ability and really just giving everyone the opportunity to jump in and enjoy in every way they should be able to. So more for you, Sony. There were third-party options for this kind of thing before, but to have an official solution is just like, I mean, I just give them praise. I think this is kind of incredible, and more for them for doing this, and I kind of want to see more of this coming out in the future. The other thing we have coming up this week is Grid Legends coming to the Quest 2. This is our title that's coming out this week, and honestly, not a great deal is known about this game just as of yet. It is originally a flat game brought into VR, so we do know a little bit about it, but in the sense of what its VR-ness is, well, that's still to yet be seen. Now, I haven't been able to get a key myself, and I feel like quite a few other YouTubers are in a similar situation with the inability to get a key, which is kind of interesting to me. It means one of two things normally: either the game's not great or they just don't want to give keys out. Both are good options. This is an EA game, so I mean, they're kind of a hard company to work with sometimes. But anyway, keep an eye out for this as it's coming out this week. And yeah, I'm very interested. Probably going to pick it up. Don't know if I'm going to make content on it, but we'll definitely talk about it maybe in the next video. And yeah, if you guys are interested, let me know in the comments down below, and perhaps we'll make it into a video if there's enough interest. So the Quest 1 is going to be axed and finally finished with. Well, to be honest with you, this is no real surprise, as, well, Oculus/Meta has really kind of always done this with their headsets. The Go was another example of this, where they just axed it off. Now, I will say this is still going to get continued support until 2024 for patches, bug fixes and stuff like that, but it does mean that you're going to not be able to do some simple stuff like go to Meta Horizon. I mean, who even cares? No one goes there anyway. And of course, you won't be able to join a party, but again, I'm not sure many of us even use that feature, as we normally use the inbuilt voice chat for all games anyway. So really what they're saying to you is, we're not gonna continue to support the things on there that are kind of trash anyway. Honestly, this does really mean it is actually coming to the end of its life cycle for the Quest 1, and of course that's sad, but honestly at this point, can we all be surprised that they're losing sort of, you know, interest in a device that honestly is quite hard to develop for at this point, as it's old technology? So I'm not surprised, and I am surprised all at the same time. Now don't get me twisted, this does actually annoy me a little bit because my wife uses my old Quest 1, and it does mean that some of those features will become more and more sort of archaic as we go through this next year. But at the same point, you know, not much tech is supported sort of 5 years into its life cycle anyway, so I do think it's kind of just one of those meh points. But I do want to drop this in there just in case anyone didn't know, but this is happening, and if you all of a sudden can't go into Horizon if you were going there anyway, or if you can't get in a party, this is why. If you're on a Quest 1, time to either upgrade or just deal with these very minimal losses. Now let me tell you, there's a few different headsets that have come out across this which are kind of interesting. Some concept-y stuff and some stuff that really kind of wowed us, and then on top of that we have the extortionate price that they have put on the new Vive headset. But we're going to break down each of these things and get chatting about them. Let's jump in and start talking about the Sharp VR headset. Now this thing is not available to anyone to buy. It's not going to be available to anyone to buy for a hot minute, if at all. From the understanding I have of this headset, it's more of a concept piece, but my god does it look dope. This thing basically looks like Doc's goggles from Back to the Future, dude. It just looks so sick. Also, thank you to Sadly It's Bradley. He's got this footage, so yeah, make sure you check out his full video on this headset. I will link it down below so that you can go check it out. Now this thing, it runs off of a phone, which is kind of interesting, and as you can see here with Bradley, it's just, yeah, it's a very interesting concept. Now as my understanding goes with this headset, these are all parts made by Sharp currently, but they are interested in working with other companies to put this thing together and turn it into an actual commercial headset. But yeah, whether it'll actually happen or not, who knows. This is just a concept and kind of like a proof of we can make this if we want to, and we have the cool components to do so. Next up we have the HTC XR Elite. Now this is something that's been being teased for so long. In typical Vive fashion, they keep sending like tiny little portions of it here and tiny little portions of it here. Get ready for the future, blah, blah, blah. Insane. And yeah, really, the technology even inside of this thing, while still impressive, still kind of falls a little bit flat and kind of feels like, you know, honestly, a Quest 2, just slightly more fancy. Really, we're waiting for that next generation of XR chips to go into our headsets, and at that point it will be a little bit more exciting. But again, at this price tag, it's just a little bit meh. Now to round off this new show, I will say, just as a bit of a talking head subject, I'm kind of bored of seeing new hardware. I want to see software for these things. Like, listen, we have a billion different VR headsets at this point, and yes, they're very exciting to talk about because we are moving forward in technology and stuff, but I just need games to play on there at this point, or experiences or things to use it for, productive or experiences for fun. I don't care which one they are at this point, I just need them. Now I think this is a big portion of why I'm so excited for PSVR 2, because honestly, there's a ton of games coming out for it. It's going to be exciting. It's going to, for me, like a content creator, this just is like a blessing because I've got all this fun stuff to do on there all of a sudden. What's the point in having a brand new VR headset if you've got nothing new to play on it? It's kind of the issue that the Pico 4 had. Really, it was either the same library or just like nothing new to do on there. Like, what's the point in me picking up and replacing my Quest 2 if you're just going to give me the same sort of thing? So yeah, I'm struggling with that a little bit. I think it's essentially why we're all looking forward to maybe the Quest 3, because with that will come new games, will come like brand new experiences that can be had with it, as it will hopefully be a ton more powerful. And again, why PSVR 2 is so exciting right now. Unfortunately, PC VR is a little bit stagnant at the moment, so it's not that exciting to get into. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this down below. I feel like we can probably all relate to this at the moment, where we're like, okay, hardware, we've seen it all, man. Give us games. Give us the games. Give us the games. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, please do like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. It does help out the channel a freaking bunch. And yeah, I'll catch you later, mate.